There's a truth. Most men spend their entire lives running from it, building elaborate defenses against it, constructing identities specifically designed to avoid confronting it. They fill their time with distractions, surround themselves with people who'll never speak it, organize their existence around never having to face it directly. And society supports this avoidance, encourages it, provides endless mechanisms for men to escape this truth. Career, status, relationships, achievements, possessions, all of it can be used as shield against the one reality most men cannot psychologically tolerate. But the Sigma male not only tolerates it, he embraces it, lives from it, builds his entire existence on the foundation of accepting what others spend lifetimes denying. And that acceptance, that willingness to face what breaks most men, is what separates him from everyone else. The truth isn't complicated. It's brutally simple. So simple that its simplicity is what makes it unbearable. The truth is this: you are alone. Fundamentally, absolutely, inescapably alone. Not alone because you lack relationships. Not alone because you're isolated. Not alone because you're unloved. Alone in the existential sense. Alone in your consciousness. Alone in your experience. Alone in your ultimate responsibility for your existence. No one can truly know you. No one can fully understand you. No one can save you. No one can complete you. No one can make your life meaningful. No one can give you purpose. You are singular consciousness navigating existence, and that singularity cannot be breached by connection, no matter how deep. You are born alone. You die alone. And everything in between, regardless of how many people surround you, is experienced alone. This is the truth, and most men cannot handle it. Let me show you why this truth is unbearable to most men. From birth, men are taught that loneliness is a problem to be solved, that isolation is failure, that being alone means being insufficient, that a man's value is measured by his ability to attract and maintain connections, to have friends, have partner, have community, have belonging. The implicit message is clear. If you're alone, something is wrong with you. So men organize their lives around not being alone. They stay in bad relationships because being in bad relationship is better than being alone. They maintain friendships that drain them because having draining friends is better than having no friends. They chase status and success because status and success attract people, and attracting people means not being alone. Their entire existence becomes elaborate architecture designed to avoid confronting existential aloneness. But here's what they're really avoiding. If you're fundamentally alone, then you're fundamentally responsible. You can't blame anyone for your unhappiness. Can't expect anyone to fix your problems. Can't wait for someone to give your life meaning. Can't defer your development until right person appears. Can't postpone living until conditions are perfect. The aloneness means it's all on you. Your fulfillment, your purpose, your growth, your happiness, your life. All of it is your responsibility. No one is coming. No one will save you. No one will make it better. You are alone with yourself. And yourself is who you have to build a life with. This responsibility is what most men cannot bear. They'd rather believe that happiness comes from external sources, that the right relationship will complete them, that success will fulfill them, that achievement will satisfy them. Because believing this means they can keep chasing external solutions to internal emptiness. The Sigma male has accepted the truth. He's not running from existential aloneness. He's accepted it, integrated it, built his life on the foundation of it. He knows no one is coming, knows no relationship will complete him, knows no achievement will fill the void, knows he is alone and always will be. And this acceptance changes everything. Because once you accept you're alone, you stop seeking completion from others. Stop expecting others to provide meaning. Stop organizing your life around connection that can't bridge the fundamental gap. You start building life that works for you, building meaning that satisfies you, building purpose that fulfills you. You start living from internal foundation rather than external validation. And living from internal foundation is what makes you independent, truly independent. Not independent because you're avoiding connection. Independent because you've accepted that connection, no matter how beautiful, doesn't eliminate aloneness. Let me take you deeper into why most men reject this truth. Accepting aloneness means accepting that all your relationships are temporary. Parents die, friends drift, partners leave, children grow up and build their own lives. Every connection you form will eventually end. Through death, distance, or dissolution. Nothing is permanent. Nothing is guaranteed. The person you love most might leave tomorrow. The friend you trust completely might betray you. The community you belong to might reject you. And if this happens, you're alone again. Always were alone. Just temporarily accompanied. Most men cannot accept impermanence. Cannot accept that everything they build with others will eventually end. So they pretend it won't. They pretend their relationships are permanent. Their connections are guaranteed. Their belonging is secure. And this pretense makes them vulnerable. Because when the inevitable happens, when relationship ends, when friend leaves, when community rejects, they're devastated. Their identity was built on connection. Connection ended. Identity shatters. The Sigma male builds identity on aloneness. His core identity exists independent of any connection. People are in his life. He values them, cares for them, invests in them. But his identity doesn't depend on them. If they leave, he's sad. But he's not shattered. Because he never forgot he was alone. Never pretended connection eliminated aloneness. Never built identity on someone else's presence. He maintained his singularity even in connection. This isn't coldness. This is clarity. He's not protecting himself from pain. He's accepting reality. And accepting reality makes pain manageable. When you know connection is temporary, loss is expected rather than catastrophic. When you know you're alone, being alone isn't failure. It's return to natural state. Here's the mechanism most men use to avoid this truth. Constant distraction. Keep busy. Always have plans. Always be around people. Always be doing something. Never stop. Never slow down. Never sit in silence. Because silence reveals aloneness. Stillness confronts you with yourself. And yourself, unaccompanied, is what they're fleeing. The Sigma male embraces silence, seeks solitude, sits with himself, confronts his aloneness directly, and discovers something most men never learn. Being alone with yourself is only unbearable if you're insufficiently developed, if you haven't built internal world worth inhabiting, if you haven't cultivated interests that sustain you, if you haven't developed capacity for self-reflection, if you're empty inside, then aloneness is torture, because you're trapped with emptiness. But if you've developed yourself, built rich internal world, cultivated genuine interests, developed real capabilities, then aloneness is peaceful. You're not trapped with emptiness, you're accompanied by yourself, and yourself, when developed, is good company. Now let's examine why accepting this truth creates power. When you accept you're alone, you stop giving others power over you through withholding connection. They can't threaten to leave because you've already accepted that everyone leaves eventually. They can't withhold approval because your approval comes from yourself. They can't use fear of isolation because isolation isn't what you fear. You fear losing yourself, not losing others. This makes you unmanipulable through standard social mechanisms. Most manipulation works through exploiting fear of isolation. Do what I want or I'll leave. Be who I need, or I'll reject you. The Sigma male is immune. Leave if you want. Reject if you need to. He was alone before you arrived. He'll be alone after you leave. Your presence is appreciated. Your absence is survivable. This immunity to isolation-based manipulation redistributes power completely. He's not trying to have power over anyone, but no one has power over him. And that's defensive power that translates to freedom? Here's the paradox that emerges from accepting aloneness. Once you accept you're alone, you can finally connect authentically. Because you're not connecting to eliminate aloneness. You're connecting to share aloneness. You're not seeking completion. You're seeking companionship. Two alone consciousnesses choosing to be alone together for a while. This is authentic connection. Not connection based on need. Connection based on choice. You don't need them. You choose them. They don't complete you. They complement you. And connection based on choice rather than need is sustainable. Because need creates dependency. Dependency creates resentment. Resentment destroys connection. But choice creates freedom. Freedom creates appreciation. Appreciation sustains connection. The Sigma male's relationships, because they're built on acceptance of aloneness rather than denial of it, are more stable than relationships built on need, even though they're less intense, less consuming, less dramatic. They last longer because they're built on truth rather than fantasy. Let me show you what happens when you present this truth to different types of men. Average man rejects it immediately. That's depressing. That's nihilistic. That's not true. We need connection. He can't accept it because his entire life is organized around denying it. Alpha male gets angry. This is weak mentality. Winners don't think like this. You're just justifying failure to connect. He interprets acceptance of aloneness as giving up, as not trying hard enough, as excuse for not dominating socially. Beta male gets anxious. But what about relationships? Don't we need people? Isn't isolation unhealthy? He needs reassurance that connection matters, that seeking connection isn't futile, that his pursuit of belonging is valid. Only Sigma male nods, recognizes truth he's already living. Finally hears someone articulate what he's known, but never heard spoken. The aloneness he's felt his entire life isn't defect, it's reality. And accepting reality isn't pessimism, it's foundation for authentic living. Here's why this truth is specifically about masculinity. Women, generally, are allowed to acknowledge interdependence, allowed to express need for connection, allowed to build identity through relationships. Society accepts this. Men are not given same allowance. Men are supposed to be independent, self-sufficient, strong. But society defines this independence as not needing people while still maintaining relationships, still being socially successful, still having robust network. This is contradictory. Sigma male resolves contradiction by accepting actual independence. Actual independence means accepting aloneness, accepting that independence isn't being strong enough to not need anyone while still having everyone. Independence is being okay with having no one if that's what reality delivers. This is uncomfortable version of independence, but it's honest version. And honesty, even uncomfortable honesty, is more sustainable than comfortable delusion. Now let's talk about what living from this truth looks like practically. You stop making decisions based on how they'll affect your relationships. You make decisions based on what's right for you. If others leave because of those decisions, they leave. You stop performing to maintain approval. You be yourself. If yourself isn't approved of, approval was never real anyway. You stop organizing your life around connection. You build life that satisfies you whether you're connected or alone. Connection becomes enhancement rather than foundation. You stop fearing endings. Relationships end. Jobs end. Phases end. Everything ends. Fearing endings is fearing reality. You accept endings. This doesn't mean you don't invest in relationships. Doesn't mean you don't care when they end. Means you invest while accepting impermanence. Care while accepting eventual loss. And this acceptance makes you present. Because you're not distracted by trying to make temporary things permanent. You're just experiencing them while they last. Here's the spiritual dimension of this truth that most people miss. Every spiritual tradition that's achieved depth has arrived at same conclusion. You are alone. Buddhism talks about non-self, but the lived experience is radical aloneness. Christianity, at its mystical core, acknowledges that each soul stands alone before God. Existentialism states it explicitly. You are condemned to be free, condemned to be alone, condemned to be responsible. This isn't pessimism. This is description of actual human condition. And every man who's achieved depth has confronted this truth and accepted it. The men you read about, the men you admire, the men who built something lasting. They all accepted aloneness, used it as foundation, built from it. The difference between Sigma male and spiritual seeker is the Sigma male arrived at this truth through pain rather than through seeking, through betrayal rather than meditation, through isolation rather than retreat. But the destination is the same. Acceptance that you are alone, that this aloneness is permanent, that building from this truth is only path to authentic existence. Let me show you the test for whether you've truly accepted this truth. Imagine losing everything, every relationship, every connection, every person who knows you. Imagine starting over in a new place where no one knows your name, no reputation, no network, no history, just you. How do you feel? Terrified? Then you haven't accepted aloneness. You're still dependent on external identity. Relieved in some way? Then you've started accepting. Neutral? Then you've fully accepted. The Sigma male can imagine this scenario without terror. Not because he wants it, because he knows he'd be okay. He's done it before, or he's prepared for it mentally. His identity isn't located in others' knowledge of him. His worth isn't validated by social position. His existence isn't defined by relationships. He is himself, whether anyone knows him or not. And being yourself, regardless of who's watching, is ultimate freedom. Freedom most men never achieve because accepting aloneness required to achieve it is too painful. Here's the final truth about this truth. Accepting it doesn't make you cold, doesn't make you heartless, doesn't make you incapable of love. Actually, enables deeper love. Because you're not loving from need. You're loving from overflow. You're not connecting to eliminate emptiness. You're connecting to share fullness. You're not in relationship to complete yourself. You're in relationship to express yourself. This love is lighter, less desperate, less consuming. But it's truer. It's not conditioned on the other person filling your voids. It's based on appreciating who they are while accepting they can't complete you, can't save you, can't eliminate your fundamental aloneness. This acceptance makes you better partner because you're not expecting them to do impossible, not resenting them for not completing you, not draining them trying to fill your emptiness. You're already full, already complete, already okay with being alone. So choosing to be with them is pure choice, not disguised need. So what is the truth that only Sigma males can handle? That you are alone, fundamentally, permanently, existentially. And no amount of connection changes this. No relationship eliminates it. No achievement distracts from it sufficiently. You are alone, always have been, always will be. And accepting this isn't pessimism. It's liberation. Liberation from needing others to complete you. From expecting external sources to provide meaning. from organizing your life around avoiding inevitable aloneness, from pretending temporary connections are permanent solutions. The Sigma male accepts aloneness, lives from it, builds on it, and in that acceptance finds freedom that men still running from truth never achieve. Freedom to be himself, freedom to connect authentically, freedom to lose without being destroyed, freedom to exist whether accompanied or solitary, freedom to live from truth rather than comfortable delusion. That's the truth most men can't handle. Not because it's complex, because it's simple. So simple it can't be rationalized away. So obvious it can't be denied once confronted. So fundamental it restructures everything once accepted. You are alone. And being alone is either prison or palace. Prison if you're empty and undeveloped. Palace if you're full and complete. The Sigma male has built palace, not by denying aloneness, by accepting it, by furnishing his inner world so completely that being alone with himself is peaceful rather than torturous, by developing himself so thoroughly that his own company satisfies him, by building meaning so authentic that external validation becomes optional. He can handle the truth because he's already living it, already building from it, already free because of it. And that freedom, won through accepting unbearable truth, is freedom no one can take away. Because it's not based on anything external, it's based on accepting internal reality. And internal reality, once accepted, becomes foundation nothing can shake.